Discussions between Christians and non-Christians commonly concentrate on whether Christian claims are true or false. Does God exist? Did Jesus rise from the dead? But ultimately, the discussions based on evidence are futile. From a non-Christian perspective, they are futile because Christian claims are extraordinary and thus would require extraordinary evidence that doesn't exist. And from a Christian perspective, they are futile because the Bible clearly states that God is to be embraced by faith, not by evidence. And so in these metaphysically futile, never-ending discussions on Christianity, in some cases Christians stray to defend their faith not on whether it is true, but on how it is a superior source of morals. That is an entirely different discussion that often lacks the same degree of quality and attention to detail. In this video, I want to tear down common misconceptions on Christian morality that Christians have. 1. Christian morals are objective, atheist morals are subjective. Christians claim that being an atheist, morality is a matter of social conditions that change with time and a matter of personal preferences, like if, for example, someone preferred a vanilla ice cream over a chocolate ice cream, something as trivial as that. They go on to say that God morals don't depend on any of this, but on the commands of God, and thus they are objective. Now this creates a logical fallacy called false dichotomy. God-given morality is objective. We know this because it is written in Holy Scriptures, and because Holy Scriptures say so. Not only is this circular reasoning, but every religion that has a God makes exactly the same claim. If because of these claims Christian God morals are objective, there is no reason to believe that God morals from other religions are not objective. So if we choose Christian God morals amongst the several objective God morals available, it will be because of our social conditions and our personal preferences, which are subjective. Choosing Christian God-given morals is a subjective matter. Christians choose them subjectively. Thus, Christian morals really are not objective. Or they are as objective as having someone else tell you what you have to do, which is a subjective decision. Any more profound study of this argument would require defining objective and subjective, and seeing if that dichotomy really has an importance in defining values at all. But Christians mostly mention this argument in a superficial manner as a way to idiotically undermine non-Christian morality, intellectual dishonesty. 2. Morals exist, God exists. The reasoning goes as follows. If God does not exist, morals do not exist. If God exists, morals exist. Morals exist, thus God exists. Now this is logically valid. If all premises are true, the conclusion is true. The problem here is that the premises may be true or may be false. We know morals exist, but using evidence we can't prove God exists, and neither can we prove that God does not exist. So we can't prove that if God does not exist, morals do not exist, because we don't know the consequences of God existing or not. Thus, using this argument, we can't confidently say the conclusion is true, because we can't confidently say the premises are true. This is the case for any logical valid positive argument where God and morals are related. To assert the conclusion is true, we would have to assume first that God exists, begging the question. 3. Christian morals are superior. Now this claim requires a more lengthy study. From a Christian perspective, Christian morals are superior by self-definition. Because being Christian is morally good, Christian morals are superior. Similarly, if we judge Christian morals from a non-Christian perspective, because being Christian is bad, Christian morals are not superior. But this is all circular logic. This is all trivial, all biased, all absurd and irrelevant. There's no point in arguing this way. To confidently say that Christian morals are superior, we have to compare Christian morals to non-Christian morals in equitable grounds. Atheists often say that Christian morals are not superior, because the Bible justifies slavery, plain massacre, and physical beating. But the real truth is that current Christians, for the most part, do not justify it. They don't encourage wiping out non-Christian countries, and they don't defend slavery. Christians, on the other hand, say that Christian morals encourage to love your neighbor, or to not steal, or to not kill people. But these moral principles are also found in other religions and in non-religious tradition, so they don't give a superior moral advice in that aspect. People can easily confidently feel inclined to follow those moral advices and be a good person just as much without being a Christian. Yes, you don't need to be a Christian to be a good person. So to see if Christian morals are superior, I've tested Christian morals in different concerns of our current society to see how they perform. We have some moral concerns in which Christian morals perform badly in comparison to other morals. Those are secularization of the state and the law. Christianity many times actively opposes it. Gender discrimination. Christianity either doesn't oppose gender discrimination or encourages it altogether. Birth control. Christianity doesn't favor adopting over reproducing, encourages having lots of biological offspring. Sexual behavior that is not the norm. Christianity by default opposes sexual deviation, punishing it, even with sexual behavior later accepted by Christianity. But even if you don't think these are true or relevant, I've found several areas of ethical concern in which Christian morals as a whole have no decisive explicit moral opinion, giving advantage in moral terms to non-Christian morals that do. Animal rights, bioengineering and genetic modification, merchandising, advertisements, lobbies and large businesses intruding, treatment of wide range of people with specific mental disorders, medical resuscitation and organ donations. In real present situations, morals that do explicitly confidently address these ethical concerns have an advantage over Christian morals. Christian morals do not have an obvious inherent advantage over more elaborate morals in secular tradition or other more up-to-date religions. Christian morals are not superior. Furthermore, given that currently the United States of America is by far the largest, most Christian nation of the world, according to very explicit Christian principles stated in the Bible, we would think that it is the country with most charitable causes and social policy. But this seems far from being the case. On the contrary, individual enrichment and individual well-being is a lot more valued in the USA than it is in many more atheist countries, which is clearly hypocritical. I advise American Christians to be less greedy and get involved in more ethical causes, instead of preaching so much how morally superior Christianity is.